Hey guys, it's Vampire Mike from Sega CD Universe. So I wanted to do a quick pickups video because I got some really cool stuff, or at least cool to me. And I picked all this stuff up on eBay from a really awesome seller that I got to know a little bit. Really nice guy. And his name on eBay is Retro Game Store Jimmy. And I'm going to put his eBay items and user ID down in the description of this video, so please check him out if you're in the market for import Dreamcast, Saturn. I believe he had Super Nintendo and other systems as well. So if you know me, I'm a big Sega Saturn fan. I feel that a lot of the games really went under the radar in terms of the 2D fighting games, RPGs, and just really unique games in general. So I tend to buy imports. Jimmy's from Japan. I tend to buy imports because they're cheaper, and if they're import friendly and I can get through the language barrier, I have pretty much just as much fun with them, as long as it's not like a really tense game with lots of text. So one of the first games I picked up is a game that I haven't heard such great things about. I heard kind of middling things, but I like the series a lot, so I always wanted to get this, and Jimmy gave me a really great deal on these games. He worked with me on the prices. He had best offers on his games. I had emailed him a few times through eBay to see what he could do, and if he combined shipping. And one of the things I do want to point out before I continue with showing the games is sometimes when you're dealing with someone from Japan, there's obviously a language barrier, just like the video games. You talk to someone and they don't really need to know English, I mean, it's very helpful because they're dealing with the public from here to sell their imports, but if they can get by, then that's fine. Whatever works, Jimmy had excellent English. He had made a statement at one point when we were talking, like, that his English wasn't so great. He was hands down the easiest to speak to I've ever spoken to from Japan, buying video games for the past, I don't know, decade. So you can definitely reach out to him. He's great. So the first game I picked up was Golden Axe: The Duel. This is a fighting game on the Saturn, so you really don't need to know too much in terms of the Japanese language. And it has like the main characters, or I think offshoots of the main characters for a fighting game. Really kind of pretty graphics. Looks like a hand-drawn anime-ish type, but with all Golden Axe characters. So I'm really excited to get this. And another thing is, most of the games had their spine cards. They were all described perfect, in terms of what they had, what they didn't have, and the conditions are all immaculate. They all look great. Another game I picked up was Burning Rangers. This is one that I've heard is semi-import friendly, that they'll talk to you in Japanese and yell instructions at you, but you can kind of find your way around, and the game is like a 3D action game where you go around and put out fires and save people. But this is really expensive for American audiences. If you were to buy, I think, the PAL or the United States version, it's like over, I think, $100 or $150 right now or more. This was like 15-20 bucks, so good deal. Came with everything. I got the game, obviously, and this little mini, I think it's the soundtrack if I recall. So really great deal on these games. And then I can't even tell you what I paid for these. He really gave me an excellent deal. I got the Legend of Thor, or I guess Thor something. This is the Legend of Oasis. This is just a Zelda type top-down action RPG. I've heard this is also fairly import friendly. The games on the Saturn, the American versions, just keep skyrocketing in price, so that's why I picked this one up. And this one, Dark Savior. This is also called, I believe, Dark Savior as well in the United States. This is like an isometric platformer RPG. Supposedly has some really cool elements to it, and all the games came very fast. I got them probably in about a week from Japan. All immaculate. Like I said, most of them have their spine cards. He was very helpful. Got back to me very quickly. I cannot recommend, I don't want to say his name wrong on here, Retro Game Store Jimmy enough. great to deal with, great to talk to, you know, in terms of haggling and working, bartering or whatever. Not bartering, but working with. We became friends on Facebook afterwards. He's a fan of wrestling and MMA, which I'm a fan of, so we were chatting a little bit about that. You can guarantee I will be using his eBay services again to buy more video games. So please guys, check him out. The link is down in the description. Let me know if you've played any of these games and what you think of them. Do you have the American renditions that you've played or the Japanese ones and you feel they're not or are import friendly? I know my buddy AJ Rosa over from Mastercast TV will chime in on this. So thanks guys for watching. Hope you liked the pickups. It's Vampire Mike from Sega CD Universe. Be good.